I was like, no, I wanted to see it. All right, cool. All right, welcome to the Hidden Sound Pod. I'm your host, Saint Nave, or Bryant. And as always, is my co-host, Bradwick.
So underdressed. I am so...
No, you had...
not under... we went to do two different parties.
This is what he had. I'm going to Comic-Con.
Now these look so dumb. Yeah, this whole thing. I'm like, oh.
You had that last week, so I figured.
So let me get the whole Akatsuki thing going.
I know, right? So as always, we talk about anime and maybe video games in the future. Follow us at Hidden Sound Pod on all the socials. Subscribe to us here. Anyways, today we're gonna get into Akira. Normally we do comment watch, but I didn't see anything that well, no, okay. There were a couple of comments about the Freerin versus
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah, so
from what I saw, there were some. They said no, Fullmetal Alchemist is still better. From what I saw,
I kind of agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think people understood that it was. We were talking about it because of the MAL, my anime list, dethroning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, no, there is a post I want to call out because my response to it was how, well, basically they thought I was just comparing the two arbitrarily. And it goes to show how annoying short form content is because no one gets all the context, even though it's clear we're doing a podcast. So you should assume that there's more information, and I'm trying to cut it in a way that it's under a minute so it can fit on all platforms.
Right.
So some of the context is going to be cut out. You can tell it's jumping, you know.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to give full context in a minute, depending on what you're talking about.
Right. So, anyways, I might post that out. But always remember, we are giving our full thoughts here, more or less. If it's on TikTok, it's probably half a thought. But anyways, anyway, I'm a ninja, a shinobi rather. All right. So today in news, let's start with which I want to give a hand clap for. First bit of news. Japan might censor manga and anime with inappropriate depiction of children, including lollies and shotas. I am so happy.
Finally.
I don't know what took him so long. Like spoiler alert. Like Akira, the one scene where the girl is naked. I'm like, she's 15 in the movie. You could have put
that called me off. Where I was like, I was like,
so
that was disturbing. Yes.
I mean, the whole industry doesn't make any sense when it comes to age. Because
the age thing is always going to be strange to me because they keep making them kids, and then it's like they make them look like adults, but they're I'm 15.
You're not going to lose audience. I don't understand. Like you're not going to lose the audience if you make the character 18 or 21, even 25. Like,
I don't know why this took as long as it did because it's always been very uncomfortable.
I mean, did it need Parliament?
I guess.
Did it really need the Japanese Parliament? Is it a Parliament system? I think it is. But did it need the government to intervene here? I just think we should just all agree that lollies and crap should just like.
In this article from Anime Hunch, it says supporters of the depiction of how the kids were depicted in the anime. They said supporters within the anime and manga industry argue that these characters are fictional and their regulation will infringe on artistic freedom and expression.
Arrest them! Arrest them now!
Who said that? And let's put them on a list.
I actually have not had a chance to go into the comments because I fear for my eyes, one, and two, the little faith I have left in humanity would just be completely eradicated if I go into the comment section. They're like, I don't even understand.
Yeah, it's very strange.
No, good job. I mean, better late than never. But all right, Hidden Sound Pod. We are pro no kids in that manner in anime.
Yeah.
I'm trying to choose my words carefully, so
I thought you. I was like,
so we can
I was like, why are you so like? Now's not the time to stumble. Please don't stumble here.
My new favorite, not favorite, but the most entertaining euphemism is PDF file downloader. So to me, if you're for this, I'm like, come on, man, are you downloading PDFs?
Oh my god!
All right, so next in the news, Jujutsu Kaisen is going on hiatus over the author having serious health issues. I could have swore they were nearing the end of their manga run, but it looks
that's
like
what I thought. Also,
yeah, but apparently the manga's author is going through some health issues, so we wish them well. There are criticisms of the most recent arc, from what I understand in the manga.
yeah.
So I don't know if that had any, I don't guess, contributing factors to how the series is coming out, because there's a lot of pressure of getting the stories out, and then you have health issues on top of that. So
yeah, these guys get pushed. It's a hectic schedule.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they put out some stuff week by week. I think it says here the Kohei Horikoshi, who's My Hero Academia, like he had to delay a release of a chapter back in February.
Mm-hmm.
I think Eiichiro Oda from One Piece, I think he had to take some breaks. He took a break recently. It's like it's when you do it for years and you have to put out something week by week by week. And it's like you're gonna go through burnout, and that's gonna eventually show in the work that you're doing.
right.
So it's like they need more breaks, and I think this will be good for the series. I mean, for its health, and then a positive like for the series going forward. Because you gotta take a break. You know.
I mean, honestly, like one of the more positive changes for like long running anime is just doing the seasons instead of having the weeklies.
Yeah,
The weeklies don't work.
No, I think thankfully more anime are trying to go through do like a seasonal route.
Yeah. So we hope that he gets better. Next on the list, Officer. Oh, this is for me, by the way, and I feel vindication. So, author who arrested. Officer who assaulted coworker, but revealing Oshinoko spoilers cleared of charges. I was like, yes, yes.
How?
Well, if you read the article, there was no injuries. Everyone came out okay. I mean, he just gave him a little choke around the neck. Well, he grabbed him and then kicked him. No spoilers, man. That's my rule. What are you doing? What are you doing spoiling, man? No violence, guys. I'm just playing. No violence, but also no spoilers, because
I know I'm pretty serious about spoilers too, but how do you get the charges cleared? We understand. You don't want to know anything.
Yes, we did it.
It's an interesting precedent. We'll pull up this case.
So, just to recap the story, the accused reportedly became visibly agitated upon hearing the manga spoiler, expressing intense frustration at having key plot points revealed. His anger allegedly escalated to the point where he physically confronted his subordinate. Oh, oof. Grabbing him by the collar and kicking him around the way.
Not guilty.
Listen. Japan.
Wait, how did they say it was? How do you clear charges if they knew what happened? How did he get cleared? Wait, does it say?
Because Japan is serious about spoilers. While the subordinate
how did I
sustained no injuries, he filed a complaint with the Yuki police station, prompting an investigation from law enforcement. And then subsequently, the police made the decision to refer to the supervisor for prosecution on charges related to the assault. Despite the referral, the prosecution has opted not to move forward with the case.
So you probably just tapped him on the. You just he's like, you know what? We're taking to
this is a big win for the no spoiler community.
dude's probably just whining. He's just like, trap me on the leg. I mean, it's inappropriate, but it's like, we're really gonna take this to court.
Oh my god, I thought that was funny. It made me I included this next one, this next bit of news. So Hojime no Ippo, which was our friend Kyle's like favorite anime, right?
I did watch a lot of it. I think I got through the original series, and back in from the 90s. I think I watched one of the movies. It was really good.
So it's going to Netflix, but see, okay, there's 75 episodes in all. That's not too bad, according from.
Well, see, I'm trying to figure out, is that because I know they had a new one.
Oh, see,
I don't know if that's the one they're talking about.
With the exception of One Piece, I'm trying to avoid all endless anime. Like, if it's more than 100 and it's not absolutely pertinent to like the anime culture, I don't even want to get into it. Like it's just too much.
It is a really good show.
I heard it's that good.
It is really good.
Yeah, I
haven't seen it in a long time, but when I watched it, I was like,
no, I heard it was fantastic. Yeah. So I added that because I was like, maybe I'll watch it and see what happens.
That's another one. If we actually do that one, we're gonna need like we have to plan that out a month ahead as if it's 70 something episodes.
No, 100%. The last bit of news was the studio for Neon Genesis Evangelion, Studio Gainax. They filed for bankruptcy. And I think they've been around for 40 years. That's what I wanted to cover. I knew I was missing something. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so Studio Gainax, House of Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is one of the first anime series that I watched, and it totally messed me up in high school.
Oh yeah, that was.
And they're responsible for hits, like I said, Neon Genesis, and they've had some involvement with Gurren Lagann, which questionable in my opinion. I know it's a hot take. So they've been around for 40 years, since 39 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Lord have mercy. And yeah, filed for bankruptcy. I think a lot of the older studios, it's happened with music and artists, like the model changes, and so a lot of the older studios have an issue or have problems keeping up with the model. And we'll get into this in the Akira conversation. Anywho, R.I.P. Gainax. Hope maybe they'll do like a restructure or something.
So the Gainax trademark was transferred to a studio called Kara. It said I'm looking at this from Wikipedia. Well, Kara will also assist with Gainax on the transfer of all of their remaining properties to different owners.
Oh man, they're getting sold for parts.
Yeah,
they're getting sold for parts.
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of how bankruptcy works. You take all your assets and you sell them for parts. All right. Okay, so today's topic is Akira. Just some, I guess, tidbits and some fun facts. Akira had over a $10 million budget at the time.
Did it?
It was like $8 million at the time, and now if you like with inflation, it's like $12 million. It basically, from my understanding, like it's a massive hit, but at the time they didn't make their money back like that.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. It's probably one of those things where it took some time for it to make some money.
Yeah, they it pretty much is what they consider like the peak of the golden age of anime. So, basically, when you're looking at the show, you can even tell from the detail like it kind of still holds up. Yeah, they were using where's my little fun fact here? So they used 160,000 animation cells which at the time was highly unusual. It had a massive budget. It had really good voice acting. It kind of pioneered that cyberpunk like style of storytelling. The soundtrack was even pretty interesting. They had it's like 80s style, that fusion kind of music blended in with like Japanese organic like drums and traditional music.
Yeah.
And just had one of the biggest cultural impacts that we've seen amongst any series. It probably has the most impact or influence of any show in the genre. I have a list here of different shows that
That's a lot of them.
that they've influenced. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but have you seen the clip or the YouTube video where they go through that iconic motorcycle slide, and then there's multiple. They go through multiple shows.
No, I haven't seen
Okay, look, we're gonna do a live reaction here. So I'm gonna do Akira motorcycle slide copies, and let's see if it pulls up on YouTube. Here we go. 3 decades of the Akira slide. That's the original one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So for those on audio, they showed the Akira slide, and they're going through for 3 decades, every single
I did
year.
not know that was
Even in Gurren Lagann, they had yep. So yeah, we're going through this video, and it's showing every instance of the Akira slide.
Everybody's doing it.
In different shows.
Pokemon.
There are a couple questionable ones on here.
Yeah.
But I think the key is you have to have the 3 smoke trails for me. That's what. Let's go back to the
that is a
the 3 smoke trails.
yeah. That's the way to catch it.
So yeah, so for people on audio, so on this video they show the original Akira motorcycle slide, and then every or more or less a large, not every, but as many different shows as they can find where they're doing the same exact slide, and it just kind of shows you the influence. The weird part about that slide, it's 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It's 3 seconds at the beginning, and for me, it was my first time watching the show or the movie, and so I was going in. I knew about the slide, I saw it before, but I didn't really. I didn't see it in the context of the movie, and I didn't realize how short that slide was. It's 3 seconds, and it's literally influenced just so many shows, and not just the slide. There's another video where they show other influences, and like they had another cartoon. I'm not sure, was it Futurama or something? But like, you know, at the end where Tetsuo has his arm missing, it's like a blob of arm. Like there's a cartoon that does that like playfully for some character. Kanye had a music video where he's lying in a hospital bed, and they're about to like do surgery or whatever on him, and the scene looks just like Tetsuo in the bed where he's getting experimented on.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I forgot what music video that was. So all that to say, Akira has had a massive impact on the anime industry. I should link the video, but there's a video that even talks about how animation in Japan was just getting more and more and more expensive, all the way up into Akira. And that was like the high watermark. And then after that, because at the time it didn't make its money back like that, for the next few years, you didn't see anything like that for a while. It was just so ambitious. And for like the next 5 or so years, the animation didn't really catch up.
It probably would take some time for everybody else to get a hold of it.
Right, and they pioneered a lot of animation techniques. So that's just some of the basic information. I'm surprised you haven't seen that video. That video is hilarious.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the movie?
Very dystopian.
For real.
It was, and you could see like after the first explosion, it destroyed everything. It was like, hey, we're gonna rebuild, and you see it's like, okay, it's not going great. It was interesting to see the world and like how it's operating, how people are protesting the government, and how then you see the government being kind of corrupt, and then the guy who's the mole in the government is not great either, and then it's obviously it's looking like, all right, something else about to happen. Because obviously, even though they rebuilt, it's still awful. You can see how the people are suffering. Everything's messy and dirty. And so you're seeing all these people that want, I guess they call Akira in the dub version, I think.
Yeah.
They want Akira to come back and just take us out. Yeah. please come back.
Yep. I should probably mention the plot, right? So the general plot is World War III had happened. a bomb went off, but it was basically caused by Akira, and I guess the remnants of him is being held by the government.
Yeah.
It's in a time where there's a lot of anti-government movements that are happening. Society is kind of like post-apocalyptic. You know, even the school system is trash. You know?
Yeah, the teachers smack. I was like, damn, man, even the teachers.
And so the government is basically trying to is trying to recreate Akira in a sense.
Yeah.
Using its experimental children. Now, one of the funny things about Akira is that the movie was made alongside of the manga being written, and so essentially it is volume 1 and volume 6. And then a very condensed version of what's in between. So, so my initial reaction of the movie is that, whoa, this animation really holds up.
Yeah, it does.
Whoa, the voice acting, and I checked both the English and the Japanese, really good.
All right, that actually, there's 2 English dub versions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what did you watch it on Hulu or whatever?
Crunchyroll.
So because there's a dub from 1989 and there's a dub from 2001.
I'm sure I heard the 2001.
Because the guy who plays Tetsuo is the same guy who voices Tai from Digimon. And the guy who voices Kaneda voices Johnny Youngbosh. He voices Ichigo in Bleach. So I was like, I've heard all these people before, and this can't be like 1989. So that one's from 2001.
Okay, this one sounded really good. Maybe
the reason for that, because I think there was some sort of translation issue with the 1989.
Oh, back then, of course there was.
From the 1989 version, so they did it again in 2001. But the voice acting was really good in the 2001 version.
Yeah, the one I heard, it was really good.
Yeah.
The animation holds up. It's extremely detailed.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, when I'm watching anime in like 2001, you kind of see the cracks. Like, oh, this is a little old. Even not Bleach, One Piece. When I watch the original episode,
you can.
You're like, oh, okay, I can tell it's old.
Right.
This does not look old. It looks great. Right. It's extremely detailed. The music is good. And even as a plot, it's a very interesting plot. A lot of times when I watch these old things, I'm just like, oh, it's old.
Yeah.
This was.
No, they did a really good job. I was like, man, this was pretty good.
Yeah. The only thing I would say that I do think it was hard to follow. In the middle, like there's a bigger world out there, and it is kind of rushed through. But then when I was watching, like doing some research, they were saying, hey, the movie is once again volume 1, volume 6, and then volume 2 to 5 are really condensed because the movie was in development as he was writing it, and so
that's crazy.
And so you can right, the director and the writer of the and the director is the same guy who wrote the manga, so it's the same guy.
Yeah,
which is wow. It makes him very talented. But I will say a lot of things just happen in the movie, and a lot of characters you can tell are drawn to have some importance. Like, you know, in anime, some characters are detailed. And you're like, oh, they're gonna be the main.
Oh yeah, right,
and then some characters look like stick figures, and then you just know they are going to have no importance to the plot.
Yeah,
or you're in a filler. Exactly. If it's a main character with no detail in an episode, it's like, oh, it's going to be a filler episode, right? And and so Tetsuo's girlfriend is a bit wooden.
Yeah, I was like, "Who's this?" And I was his girlfriend, like Tetsuo.
She's a bit wooden. Yeah. The lady who I thought was a guy, the big one with the afro kind of a thing. And the priest.
Right.
Apparently, it's a very important character in the manga, but you don't see it. You just
he's just chanting, and then
and then goes at the away. End, right. One thing I didn't even realize, but like the bike gang is like non-existent by the third act.
Oh yeah, you don't really you don't see you don't see him.
And a lot of that was because it's got really condensed. You lose a bit of it, but this is a series that it does everything else so well that I almost don't even care. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I landed with that. I was like, it's everything else is so good for a show that will be 30 in 4 years.
Yeah, it was like, man, I wish they had like I don't say more time, but like a little more time to like flesh some things out. Because they have
40. That was like my math.
Oh yeah, but yeah, to have some time to flesh things out because it was very interesting to see how even with like the small amount of time that they had, I was like, oh, this is a pretty interesting story that they put together.
Yeah,
And like even like with the end, because an end like that, I always think of like end of Evangelion and how confusing that was.
Yeah,
And like just you didn't know where it was going. This, even though it was a little confusing, it was more easier to follow. Because I think they did a pretty good job, pretty solid job up to that point, kind of explaining things.
Yeah.
So I was able to follow it a little bit, so it wasn't too, just random, I guess.
So for me, what was hard to grasp was why are the kids little old people, but like Tetsuo is a regular person and he has powers too. Maybe because he's Akira. Do the kids start that way? It's
because they had that still origin story.
Yeah, like for 3 minutes, for like a minute, they looked normal, and then I guess maybe they just drained life out of them. But then
because I always thought it was like because they just triggered something in Tetsuo, then that's why he was different. And plus he was older, so he was able to he had a mind of his own, I guess.
Also, biggest forehead in the game. My God. And then K, biggest chin in the game. If I had any complaint, it would be the character design. What a choice! What a choice, man.
Yeah.
What is this?
One kind of funny part that happened. I love the Colonel. The Colonel, like, that was one of the better characters.
Yeah.
And he told him once again, "Hey, shoot him."
There was a scene where
okay,
no, like so many things blow up in this show. I was like,
yeah, everything got destroyed.
Dude walks by, has a gas can, and point blank shot. I was, what? Everyone's getting hit in the head. Like, how do people not have concussions? No, a lot of things just blow up.
Yeah.
Tetsuo is Tetsuo. Canada is basically Batman.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
jumping off of motorcycles.
I was like, how are you not dead yet?
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like. It didn't make any sense that Canada was able to get one shot off and then shoot him in the chest, and then the army came and no one got a single shot. So yeah, basically, once he gets his power, everyone and their mom are trying to destroy him, and not a single person can touch him. Canada bikes over there.
You know what's funny? Because they used a satellite and that didn't work. He just this high school kid.
They used a laser cannon from a satellite, and it got his arm the second time.
Yeah.
Canada goes pew 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 with his little laser pistol.
I was like, how was he able to shoot him?
Canada, yeah, no, that's what I was saying. There's holes in, like it is a very it's like a I don't want to say B-level plot. It's told at maybe at like a B-level proficiency, but everything else is done so great. Because when you start thinking about it, you start just wondering, Canada should be dead.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how he's getting through this.
He should be absolutely dead.
God.
I mean, he literally jumped off of him. He kicked the man on a motorcycle. I can understand. There's a lot of like the covert operation that Kay was on with the other guy. I didn't quite understand why that what was going on there.
Then he shot. Then the guy, the mole shot hit. Like the mole shot. The guy that Kay was working with, and then Kay became a zombie. That wasn't really fleshed out. I didn't understand how she's being controlled randomly. Like, because I guess when the children was able had the one in the glass or whatever had the power to control her.
Yeah, but they didn't really flesh out each of the kids' powers. I figured they all have different powers.
Yeah.
So I wasn't quite sure what their different powers were. And then also, Tetsuo was being tortured for a long time and then wasn't. I think So it starts off as this: you're in this post-apocalyptic universe, and the government is doing a thing that is they're trying to harbor some power, right? And then Tetsuo gets caught up in it. But then there's the government stuff that's happening. There's the covert operation,
right?
And they just zip on past that, and now he has powers. And then his Superman, he puts on a little red cape, And then Canada becomes the protagonist. But it's that stuff in between that kind of gets ran through. I feel.
Where it kind of rushed a little bit. Because I definitely got lost at some point. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
And then some of the power scaling, which it's forgivable. I think I would have forgiven most of it if Canada just did not get that one shot off. Because he shot a laser. And then the laser also did not harm Canada. I guess because K with the powers saved him, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was
but the first time when he got his arm chopped off with the laser, that should have taken Canada out. You know?
Oh yeah.
And then he flies to space. It can now breathe space air.
Did he breathe?
I don't know. It was
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few where I was like, "What's going on?" No, but here's the thing. The whole thing looks so cool. I was like, I didn't really care. I'm nitpicking a little bit right now, but it was very well done. I am very upset I did not watch this 20 years ago because it would have been better than 80% of the anime that came out up until that point, if not more.
Oh yeah, it probably would have been.
I feel now you're getting stories that are kind of catching up. It's probably like the mid-aughts, but there was nothing in the 90s I feel like that could have caught up to that. You know,
well, barring Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli.
Barring Miyazaki, I was the first I said, Princess Mononoke. I was like, okay, that was
barring that, probably not, because I think maybe like DBZ. But of course, that's a totally different
animation
thing.
Is nowhere near. And so what it was, so that golden age of anime, what's interesting about it is that it was a lot more mature.
Yeah. There's
no formula. I felt like I'm watching something that's not even really anime. Like it's animation, you know, but not how I think about anime today. You know, I just felt like it's completely different. Once again, speaking of the maturity side, the girl was 15. Why was she naked? I don't understand. I am not a prude at all. I am here
for these mangakas or anime creators are never going to beat the allegations.
Here's the thing.
It's not a good look. I don't know why they did
like this is animation. You could write these kids to be 17, and even that's too young.
Yeah, that's still weird.
But I was like, she's 15, and it's a Welch's grape scene. Sorry, that's all I got. I don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scene that it's a minor. Once again,
the only thing I'll say is like it does play into the dystopia of everything,
right? And that's the only reason why I was kind of like, okay, fine, whatever. But
it's still like it happens too many times. But that episode, I was like, can y'all just raise those ages up
a little bit? I mean, it was one of the. It's an early show, so
yeah, that's true.
But the other things with the dystopian fact is that the police are corrupt, the school system is corrupt.
Like I thought that was done real well. I'm like, this place sucks.
Absolutely sucks. Nothing
this place
about
is awful.
Oh my god!
I was like, I can see why people want Akira.
Yeah, the world of Akira is just awful. The high schoolers driving motorcycles.
So at the end, Akira took Tetsuo with them or something. Like, we'll just be chilling someplace.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Yeah, I was like, I guess everybody is dead except Kaneda K. And the colonel and one of their friends. Yeah, and that was like, because where do they go now?
I need to watch it again. I was telling you earlier, this is my first time watching it, and partly my fault. I have that dumb idea where if it's old, then don't go back.
Yeah,
but man, it holds up. It absolutely.
No, it does really for 1980. Was it 1985?
88.
It's really good.
Not that I totally buy into Miyazaki's get off my lawn argument about anime right now and how nothing's great anymore. This movie does make me really think, oh man, we really don't get anything unique because everyone has copied everyone has drawn from this playbook, and I still went, oh yeah, that's super original. Like I can tell, even in the same cyberpunk universe, it's not following a formula. I'm just along for a ride. That's kind of the reason why I like it a lot. I have issues with it, but I love a big swing. It's a big old swing.
Yeah, it is a swing. It is a risk.
Right, because every show, not even every show, but a lot of anime they don't take the risk. So I'm stuck judging a show based off of its contemporaries.
Yeah.
This one I'm watching, it's going, oh, interesting, great, awesome. Oh yeah, my everyone's a perv is one of my notes here.
Oh yeah, everyone is very strange.
The receding hairline, Tetsuo just honestly, he might have the worst life of any anime character. Think about it. He has a receding hairline. And even in the flashback scenes, he has a receding hairline. I was like, what?
I have hair that never had a chance. Hairline that had no shot from the start.
Right, and then he runs into a kid that blows him up.
Yeah, and then he's getting experimented on and tortured. He saw a baby and a bear in a dream.
My man can't live.
And that was so uncomfortable. Like seeing him transform like that at what was it? It was like a stadium or something like that.
Oh yeah,
sitting in that seat, and he was just lose. And how did nobody die there either?
Yeah,
I was like, how did they? Oh, I'm like, okay, they're dead.
Well, the anime, that blob thing, even how they drew all that stuff in, I thought that was super cool. Even his cool,
that was creepy, but it was really cool. Really good.
The robot arm that came on him, that was and that's all hand drawn. All of this was hand drawn, which is wild. Yeah. It's all hand drawn. Everything now is done with with applications and on your computer and whatnot. This is all hand drawn. This is wild to me.
I wonder what kid back in 1988 whose parent thought it was just a normal cartoon.
Yeah,
watched that and was like, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Yo, no, 100%.
I was like, this is so creepy. I was like, oh my god.
So now I want to watch Ghost in the Shell. Now is kind of where I'm at.
I only saw a few. I almost forgot about that
because that seems like another anime that's gonna that took a lot of risk. There's a few old ones I haven't watched intentionally, and now I'm this has got me geared up.
Because I only saw a few episodes of Ghost in the Shell. I didn't finish it though.
Oh, so they've been working on a movie for Akira for 20 odd years, and it's been in production hell. They've never gotten it out.
Geez, really?
Yeah, they've never gotten it. I think Taika Waititi was even tied to the project, and he left it for Thor: Love and Thunder, which
I heard that wasn't good. I
haven't seen it. I heard it wasn't bad. I heard it was pretty bad too. It's
since 2002.
Since 2002,
Warner Brothers acquired the rights to create a live-action remake of Akira as a 7-figure deal. That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Because I remember Cowboy Bebop when they thought they were going to do a movie. I remember that was back in 2009, and it just never went anywhere until we got the awful thing that they made on. But I wonder what's taking so long, or why they just don't want to do it.
Because so I already mentioned that the manga is 6 volumes, and the movie is 1/6 and a very squashed in between.
Yeah.
For me, it should probably be multiple movies or maybe even a series. And then these, imagine the world you're going to have to create, and they're going to do it all in CGI. It's not going to be the same. And then...
And this is something that can't go to Netflix.
At all.
It can't.
And then secondly, I'm of the mindset that when you do a live action adaptation, I almost don't want you to do the same story. I want you to do something in the spirit of it and then just make your own story, because all I'm going to do is compare it to the original. It's like how Disney took all of the properties and IP of old books, and there's a mermaid, and that's it. And they make their own story.
So, well, I think with this, I'm guessing a lot of people did not see this movie.
I don't know about that. I don't know. In the anime community?
Well, I mean, if you want to get new fans, now I can see them not doing a shot for shot, but I can see them doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I want to say. I mean, I would like to see it
because it is from anime to movie. It's not like with Final Fantasy VII going from game to game, I guess. Yeah. But they could probably do something different. But I don't know.
I would rather them do.
Now, as an anime fan, probably do something not exactly the same though.
Well, no, I'd rather them remake the anime and do it into like a 3-part OVA or something like that. Because I already am aware that they're missing bits in the middle.
Yeah.
Or just don't redo it. That's your other option. Leave it alone. It's a classic. It's still
that's probably the way to go. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like a 2-part anime thing to flesh it out a little bit more.
Right.
But there's always another great option. Don't do anything.
Right.
Don't so let it live.
The question should always be, when you're going to do a remake, the question is, does it still hold up? Now, I'm going to pick on your favorite series, One Piece. Do the first 100 episodes still hold up?
They have to like. No, I said they have to like condense it.
Right, and so there's room to remake. I'd argue with Akira. Yeah, I'd be okay with not redoing it. So I think it holds up. Yeah. If you're gonna do it, I think you do almost a FMA Brotherhood, where you keep the bits that work, the first 20 episodes, and then you work. Basically, you take that and then you expand the parts that needed to be added. Yeah. But you can reanimate. And even that, I'm like, that was hand drawn. So if you don't hand draw it, are you going to be able to really match the quality of the original? But you do an FMA Brotherhood. You take the parts that are canon, you keep them in, and then you fill in the blanks that we're missing.
Yeah, I mean they could do that. I'm more for of just doing a two part thing. Yeah, and then doing it that way.
Cool. Any other thoughts about this dystopian, sad world?
I
mean, the amount of times people get hit in the face.
Yeah, I'm like,
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
I was like, blow it up. Like, blow it up.
If you work in the hospital, if you're in the pharma business or in the healthcare business, you're making bank.
It was. I was like, this is a rough place.
People get hit in the face, left and right. It's wild. People getting shot in the dick. It's wild.
I was like, hey, go to school. Oh no, school's probably
like don't build anything. It's gonna explode. And then the government's all confused that the secrets are getting out. Yeah, because things keep blowing up and there's no bomb. Yeah. What is this? Oh my god. What else happened before? What else happened in this sad universe of Akira?
I just like the for some reason I just like the Colonel. The Colonel was always just
was cool.
The Colonel was pretty cool. I don't know why I liked him so much.
The scientist was crazy.
He's like a normal.
That was the era when mad scientist was like always a bad guy.
I don't know why he died. I thought it was kind of funny. Yeah. He's like, what
a sad.
He was like. He looked like you know what he looked like? He looked like the scientist from Mega Man.
He definitely did. And even even the people are stupid. They're following Akira. Things are blowing up.
Yeah, I was like, look, man.
Things are blowing up around you. He's like, oh my god, Akira. He's God. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Run away. Either he is a god. Run away. Save yourself.
I was like, man, this society is just gone.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god.
It's very brutal. The show is very brutal, and that's why I like it though, because it's no holds bar. It's not censored like how a lot of things now.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, I think since it was like the late 80s when it was just like everything was a little more just like, I guess there was less regulations when it
that's 100% what it was.
So it was like, hey, we'll just say whatever, do whatever. So it's a little, so it's showing more raw and more like brutal.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like you want censorship for things like lollies and,
Yeah.
but like if you're making a series and you're making a dystopian universe, like just make it. Like I don't want you to be held back by it might not get aired. I like the fact that they just made their thing and they just ran with it. However, it's a very sad universe. No. Once again, the kids got smacked in the face by the teacher. What is going on here? I don't even.
There is no happiness.
There's no happiness
except that bike. The bike was the only.
Yeah, the bike. The red bike is the most cherished possession. Man's holding a firebomb over the bike, and that's about as close as it got to being destroyed. Just
satellite couldn't kill him, but a teenager.
Tetsuo's having nightmares. His guts fall out. Not real. That part was hard to watch.
Yeah, him suffering was
suffering.
Was tough.
Tetsuo suffered the entire way through.
I was like, what is? Kill this man. Put him out of his misery.
Yeah. So long story short, Akira's fantastic. You should probably watch it. It is. It still holds up.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else?
I think that's all I got.
I would say next week, we could do another one of these movies, or we can do Hashira Training Arc.
Is that how?
Yeah, I think they broke it up into like 3 or 4 episodes, and then.
Oh, we probably should do it.
If it's over, we should just do that. 'Cause that'd be pretty. It's like a 2-hour movie, but then they chopped it up into episodes on Crunchyroll.
All right, yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah. Oh, God, I have a love-hate relationship with Demon Slayer.
I don't know. They brought me back. They're doing something.
What?
Because they're going someplace with like the villain and stuff like that.
Oh no, I'm mad. No,
so I'm like, I know you didn't like how they didn't kill her.
They should have killed her off. Hi. Anyways, all right, my daughter's coming down, so this has been the Hidden Sound Pod.
All right,
follow us.
Daddy,
Peace.
your outfit.
Peace.
See ya. Windsor.